I'd introduced the topic when you had dropped off. So, and I had asked the question, what are the indicators of confidence in a child? What are some of the indicators? I believe there are parents in the house, and maybe even the children, the teens who are here can tell us.
Yeah.
When you're confident, what are some of the things that will show that Fulani is confident? Yeah? Douglas is confident. Mackrine is not very confident. So what are the things that, what are some of the things for you?
I feel like the body language of someone.
Okay. Body language, what kind of body language will show you that somebody is confident?
Like when they're tackling a situation, they just do it courageous, bravely. They don't even stammer when they are doing it. If they are talking, they don't
Mm.
have errors. They are eloquent. That's what I mean.
Okay. Okay. So one is able to demonstrate like mastery of whatever it is in terms of how they show up and how they speak about the issue. Anything else that shows confidence?
When they're not easily intimidated.
Okay. So intimidation is not a big deal for them. You know, they're able to sort of assertively make their position known. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So those are good pointers, and I agree with them. Okay. So there's something that my machine does. If I don't progress it immediately, it sort of hangs. So I have to get out like this and move literally. So let me come back and share. Okay. So I thought it would be nice for us to also define what confidence is. And the definition that I'm sharing here is saying that it's a feeling of being sure of oneself and one's abilities. Yeah. And in that feeling, one is not arrogant. Yeah. One is just secure. Like one of the parents has said, one doesn't feel threatened unduly. Yeah. And confidence is not feeling superior of others, lording it over others, you know, talking badly about others because on that particular matter you're better than them. That's not confidence. That is just arrogance and aggression. Yeah, it's really more about you and how you feel about yourself internally and your capabilities. And somebody talked about self-awareness. One who has high levels of confidence is also one who is relatively high on the self-awareness scale. So they know the things that they're good at, they know the things that they're average at, they know the things that they're poor at, and they are okay with it, you know? And if they feel that where they're weak, they want to improve, they're okay to work on it. So just so that we're on the same page on that particular thing. So you guys have shared some of the pointers of what confidence looks like in a child. And I have a longer list here. So just adding to what you guys have said, the person feels and acts secure. So they're eloquent, you know, they look up when they're speaking, they have an open posture, you know, they know their strengths, they know their weaknesses. And where they are weak, they are happy to ask for help. There are those amongst us who will struggle. I don't know the stuff, but I don't want to ask. Now, that is something that one would need to work on around confidence. Because when you're fearing to ask, it suggests that there are certain ways of thinking that you're having that are keeping you from seeking the help that you actually need. Then when one is confident, when they fail at something, they don't look at it as an end. They look at it as a means to an end, meaning that they pick lessons from that experience, you know. So I sat an exam and I didn't do so well. I didn't get the grade I wanted. I don't start saying I'm so dumb, you know. The way I articulate that experience is you say, well, I didn't do too well at these exams. I need to check. Was it about how much time I allocated to reading the subject? Is it how I was actually studying the subject? Are there things that I didn't understand that maybe I need to get help with, you know? So it's spinning it in a positive way. There's patience to learn. A lot of things are not learned at the drop of a hat or the snap of a finger. A confident person, like we said, they know what they're good at, they know what they're not so good at. And when they're working on what they're not so good at, they have patience with themselves. Wako pole kwao wenyewe. And chances are, as they are patient with themselves, they're usually equally patient with others. Though some people struggle with that, but pretty much a confident person is patient with themselves. They don't really mind that they don't know some things. In fact, there are some things that they don't really care to know more than they already do. You know, so they're not seeking to be good at everything. That's what I mean. They are okay that, you know, I'm into fitness, yeah. And the things that I do around fitness, I run, I do strength training, and what else do I do? I do dance fitness, yeah. I don't know how to swim. I am 40, heading towards 50. I have a plan to learn how to swim, but I don't know. I don't mind that some people might find it very odd that I don't know how to swim. Born and raised in Nairobi, but well, it is what it is, and it doesn't really bother me much. When I'll be ready, I'll learn how to swim. Yeah. So I know what I'm good at, and I know what for me is okay. And the last point I'd like to put here is that persons who are confident have a can-do attitude. So they approach things with, how else can we do this thing? If this isn't working, is there another way in which we can approach it? You know, so as parents trying to support our children, we want to think about this context of what is this thing that is confidence? What are the things that will show me that I have supported my child to an increased level of confidence? These are some of the things. It is not exhaustive. Yeah. Okay, so moving on to the next slide. Okay, so the next slide, I want to talk about some of the things that as parents we do that kill the confidence of our children. So we are here to try and increase our knowledge around how we build the confidence of our children. I don't want to believe that we don't know how. We already know how, we're already doing some of the things. So we just want to confirm that what we are doing is okay, continue doing it, and to find out, is there more that we could do? Now, as we learn, as we look into that space, let's see what are some of the things that we do which would kill the confidence of our children. One is engaging in physical abuse. Now, it's either you're physically hurting your child or you are fighting amongst yourselves as the parents in the presence of the child. Both of these things make the child to think that there's something wrong with them, that they're not capable of doing good, and that they're deserving of the pain that is brought in their direction or that they're exposed to as they see the parents engaging in physical abuse. So we really want to check on that. We really want to check on, are we engaging in physical abuse, hitting the child, pushing the child, pinching the child, kicking the child, things that cause bodily pain to the child, or otherwise having our disagreements and having it in a physical way in the presence of the children. Not a good thing. Yeah. The other thing that parents could do that could end up affecting the confidence of a child is engaging in emotional abuse. Yeah. So there is this school of thought that believes that if my child does something that I'm not happy with and I want to push them, motivate them to move towards the thing that I prefer, then I should shame them. I should shame them on the thing that they have not done well. I should make them feel guilty. I'm spending all this money on you, and this is the kind of grade that you can bring here. I have taught you very well, and then see the kind of reports I'm getting from the neighborhood that you are fighting with the neighbor's child. This kind of performance, hii ni kama kulipa fees, not for a human being, but for an animal. Those sort of things. You should not do those things. Anything that causes a child, takes a child in a shameful path, guilts them or degrades them. You call their friends and then you start, doing funny things. Somebody shared with me a photo that was going around in social media. I don't know if you guys may have seen it, where a lady took a photo of the heads of two of her sons. They were relatively young boys, I would say under 6 years, maybe 6 and 4. And she had shaved the back part here, very badly, namakasi. So I found a way not to keep these kids from going out. Now, that is shameful. That is shameful, because imagine those boys when they go out with their heads shaven like that and their friends look at them and they probably laugh at them. It really breaks their spirit. So we shouldn't engage in emotional abuse. If we think we are doing it to build their confidence, truth of the matter is it is breaking their confidence. And there's a lot of research that backs this up. It may be that we were brought up that way by our parents. And if we think hard and deep about it, we didn't like it. So we need to find alternative ways of motivating these boys and girls so that we can build their confidence, but not shaming them, degrading them, and guilt tripping them. Comparing them. Comparing brother to brother, brother to sister, brother to neighbor, brother to cousin. No. If something is not at the level that is desired, let's talk about that issue. My expectation of you, my child, is that when you come from school, you put your bag at the corner there, you put your shoes at that place which you have agreed, you sit and take your snack, and then you start doing homework. So that you did not do one or several of those things. Why? Not, why can't you be like your sister? Can't you see your sister? She came in, no. Talk about me and my misdemeanors, and let's try and find a solution to my mistakes. And by the way, when you're doing this thing, can you do it in private? You want to conserve my dignity. I'm not saying don't correct them, but do it in the way that even you would love to be corrected that way. Assume that it is you who is being corrected by your manager or a customer. If you're in business, a customer feels aggrieved. You don't want them berating you in front of everyone. You want to do it with a lot of dignity, because these children are not the mistakes that they make. Neither are we. We are human, we make mistakes, granted. There's one of the girls who said they have been taught things, they are trying to live in accordance with what they were taught, and yet there are struggles. That is being real. So mistakes will happen, they need to be highlighted, they need to be corrected with respect. Yeah. Now, emotional expression. This is another one. We are told, I don't believe in that story, but we are told that boys should not cry. Douglas, comment. Men do not cry. Is it a narrative that you have had? Hello? Are there any men in the house?
Yeah, men are in the house. I have one and only Mr. Gidiomi. Is a man I respect. I think I saw him in. Men cry, and it's good for men to cry. When you don't cry, then you lose a lot of things. So it does not make you less of a man if you cry. It makes you even a stronger man because you're able to shed off some of the pains that you're going through.
Yeah. So I, like Douglas, believe that crying is a natural function. It has been found that it is one of the ways of reducing stress. Yeah. And it is not something to be viewed in a negative light. So at this point, I'd like to say that emotions exist to serve a need, and there's many emotions. We don't even have the whole list of them. What I can tell you is that there are positive emotions and there are those that are considered to be negative emotions. So negative emotions could be like anger, jealousy, eh, rage. Which other ones can you think of that would fall in that space of negative emotions? The things that you feel, sadness, despair, those things, they serve a purpose. So there's no good or bad emotion. Even anger is necessary. Anger is necessary because it points us to the direction of there's something that needs to be addressed. The issue is when you experience the emotions, positive or negative, how do you handle the emotions? Now, that is where we now draw a line. So we should not discourage our children from expressing their emotions, you know. So the child has made something, and the sibling has come and messed it up, and they are so upset. Yeah? They are so livid. Like, how could Brian do that? It took me so long to fix this thing. And then he's just come and messed up my stuff. I'm so angry. And then you'd hear a parent saying, but why are you so upset? After all, it's just a small thing. Now, that is not proper, because what in effect that parent would be saying is, you who's complaining about Brian, you do not deserve to feel the way you're feeling. So stop telling us. Now that is wrong. If you do that repeatedly, the message that the child gets is that they should not express themselves when they feel like expressing themselves in a certain way. They should look and see, what does daddy yuko kwa temperature gani, mami yuko kwa temperature gani, teacher yuko namna gani, which is not proper. That will impact their confidence. Disallowing dissent. Their parents, and in my day, this was like the norm. In this day and age, I believe there are still parents who are in this category of disallowing dissent, which is to say that my word is the law. When I say that I want you to go and bring for me something from, I don't know, the shop, for example, the child has no permission to say, excuse me, ma'am, I was in the middle of something. Could you allow me a few minutes, like 2 minutes, 5 minutes, I finish, then I go to the shop? No. Now, if you are that kind of a parent who is not willing to listen to a view from your child that is different than yours in the moment, then know that you're killing the confidence of that child. Yeah. So you want to be open to a differing view. It may be something even on religion. So Mwanga is based on Christianity. And yet we know that teenagers at this age are developing their identity. In that process of of developing their identity, you'll find that they question a lot of things, even their spirituality. Yeah? So you may find that you have raised them in a Christian way. They feel that the Christian way is working, but they have some questions about some of the things in the faith. Now, if they ask those questions, the right response is not to say, sitaki kusikia maswali yako. We are going to church and we are going to church and that's the end of the story. No, listen to them. If you have an answer, give them your answer. If you don't have an answer, go and consult. If you give them an answer and they don't agree with you, it is still fine. We don't have to agree on everything, you know? And after all, because you're the parent in the house, depending on what that item is, if it touches on a significant value, you know, you say, you know what, I hear you, I understand your preference, but for us as your parents, this is the position that we hold, so you will just need to abide by it. And feel free to exercise your option when you become of majority age. But you'll have had them and they get it. Another thing that kills the confidence of children is failing to involve them on decisions that affect them. So we need to relocate. COVID has done things to us. So for some people, it has affected incomes and it has necessitated scaling down life. Yeah. And that is something that is unfortunate. And that is something that will affect the children. And that is something that needs to be discussed with the children in an age appropriate way. So at the point in time, as a parents, we decide, you know what, we need to now scale down. Maybe we were staying in Westlands. We'll now need to move to a more affordable place for us. Maybe we move to the east side of town. You know, have a kikao, tell them, this is the thing. So what we can afford is this. And we are thinking maybe we move to Buruburu, for example. By involving them, they may suggest, oh, Buruburu, how about Langata Road? You know, so like, oh, we hadn't thought about that. Maybe we'd consider it. Or Langata Road, we could, but because you explain to them, so you end up going to Buruburu and you're all aligned in this story. But if you do everything and then you come and tell them, okay, so we build their confidence. You know, you listen to their views. Sometimes you incorporate what they say. Other times you incorporate part of what they say. Other times you don't, and you explain to them why. Yeah. Now, as humans, and especially growing up, children learn a lot from the older people around them. So one of the things that helps them to learn, and which also helps to support their confidence, is being affirmed. Affirmation is when I do something and I do it okay, you let me know that I have done it okay. Yeah. Now, there are those parents who have this thinking that, you know, if you are expected to clean the house, where cleaning the house is clearing the table, cleaning that table, washing the dishes, drying the kitchen floor, yeah? And you did those, then we are moving forward. I will say nothing about the fact that you actually remove the things from the table, you clean the table, you wash the dishes, you clean the floor. The child is actually expecting you, one, to notice that they did it, two, to say something about it. So one of the things that we could say is, you know, Joel, I really do appreciate that you have actually taken time to clear the table and clean it the way we had discussed, and even wash the dishes immediately after. I really appreciate that. You don't have to say it every time, but you know, for the fact that you say it, it makes them feel like, oh, kumbe, what I'm seeing is being done. I mean, what I'm doing is being seen, yeah, and it is being appreciated. And when we appreciate them like that, they will do more and more of the things that we appreciate. But it also builds their confidence. Criticizing, hizo vyombo, mbona unaosha uchafu hivyo? You can't even wash dishes. Look at the dishes. No, funny. I don't know if you guys saw the advert. There was an advert back in the day, the parents in the house, where a mother-in-law would come visiting the son and his family. And then when the door is opened, she starts running her finger on the surfaces and looking to see dust. You know, she's not even greeted anyone. Now that's the kind of thing. Okay, that's a bit extreme. But there are those of us who, like, we criticize our kids endlessly. We First of all, you don't affirm them. And then when they try to do the things, we nitpick on the things that they have done and we look for faults. Always faulting them. You don't listen. You understanding yako ni kama ya panya. You know, we say very nasty things. Sometimes we even criticize ourselves. Sometimes we criticize the neighbors. And we think that when you're criticizing the neighbors, because I'm not criticizing my child, it is okay. No, it is not okay. Because what the child is doing at the point when I'm criticizing myself, say I'm talking about my weight and I'm like, oh God, I have so much, you know, I have so much weight around my waist. I don't like it, you know, I don't like the way I'm looking. The child is thinking, they're looking at themselves and they probably have a body shape like yours. And they're thinking, well, okay, so if mommy doesn't like herself, then she doesn't like me too. That's not what you're thinking they should think. That's not even your intention as you're doing it. But for the fact that you keep saying it, they are hearing your shape yako si poa. So you want to avoid this constant criticism. And if you must raise a concern, do it in a way that is respectful and helps in confidence building. Yeah. There is the part of some parents, you know, not having any interest in what their kids love to do. And when they're in teenage, they'll experiment with a lot of things. And this is, I'm talking about positive things. You know, so you may find that maybe they're playing the instrument, a guitar, a piano, or they're trying some artwork, you know, or they're doing some gardening. And okay, they love what they're doing, but they equally love that the parent actually shows an interest in what they're doing. So if you keep passing by that garden, alilima, akapalilia vizuri, akapanda mboga, akaweka seedling, now the mbogas are ready, you know, and you're saying nothing. It breaks their heart. They're like, Yani, this thing I'm doing doesn't really mean anything. I know of a parent whose son was alikuwa anapenda kucheza drums, yeah, but this parent to him felt that those drums mtoto akicheza atapigia majirani kelele, not hati yeye, majirani watateta. Like, so you don't play those drums, that's just you creating noise for the neighbors. And the child really loved the drums, you know. So at some point the child was like, when I turn 18, I'm going to really excel in these drums and I'll make so much money. Alafu nitakuja nipatie dadi nimwambie hii drums zenye ulikuwa unadharau ona venye sasa inafanya. You know, that's really not a good place to be. You know, if noise is a problem, can you find a way of helping them to negotiate with the neighbors rather than kill their interest or show zero interest in their interest? Demanding for perfection. If it's not perfect, nothing. Now that is terrible. Demanding for perfection has been found to be one of the causes of anxiety, diagnosable anxiety. We call it clinical anxiety. Ile ambayo itafanya mzazi alete mtoto wake mimi ama mshauri mwingine azungumze naye. So you don't want to push your child to be perfect. What you want to do on the other hand is actually to encourage them to pursue excellence. What is excellence? Doing the best with what you have at a point in time and being happy with the outcome of that best that you have done. In the full knowledge that your best may not be the best amongst all things. It doesn't matter. If my best, if say it's academics, if my best grade, all things considered, is a C+, then good. As a parent, nikishajua C+, umejikakamua yako yote, I will support you to ensure that you don't go to a C. Sio ati kila mara ni kelele, why are you not giving me an A grade? Hii fees inalipa nini? Pocket money ndio unajua kunitisha hapa. You don't want to do those things. encourage your child to pursue excellence. Yeah. Then we have unrealistic expectations. So in this age that these boys and girls, it is the responsibility of the parent to appreciate where the child is in terms of their development. Yeah? And set expectations ambazo zinalingana na the developmental stage of that child, whether or not it is aligned to their biological age. Otherwise, you'll be killing their confidence because you'll be pushing them to do things that they have not reached the level of mastery of. Aya, kukosa kujipanga, problem. Children thrive on structure. They need to know when I wake up in the morning, there's going to be breakfast. And then after breakfast, there's a period for whatever it is that you plan in that period. And then when 1 o'clock reaches, we will have lunch. And if you have resources at 4 o'clock, we'll have a snack. And then at 7:30, we have supper. Then you go to sleep at 10. And you unafinya repeat kesho yake. That makes for building confidence in a child because they know what to expect. They know what is expected of them. They know what they expect of others. They know what is real. Now, if the home environment is chaotic, today breakfast is served at 7. Tomorrow it is served at 10. Oh, the same day lunch is served at noon. You're being told, can you eat your food? And you're still full. Huh? Kesho yake saa 8 chakula ijaonekana. Ikifika usiku, you're expecting food at 7:30. It is now 10 o'clock. Things are still being cooked. Now, those are things that really send signals that are confusing to the child and make them even wonder, is there something that I'm not doing that is causing this chaos in the house? Yeah. So you want to be structured. Not perfect, but try to work within a routine that is consistent and predictable and is known to the child. If something has to change, let them know. As soon as you know something is going to change, let them know. And remember, child participation is important because then they own the thing, they understand. Making promises that we do not meet. Hey, nitakununulia bike. Lini mkifunga shule? Oh, okay. Mmefunga shule. Mom, ile bike sitaki kusumbuliwa. I am busy. Start doing those things. We'll be sending signals of adults are not to be trusted. And if adults are not to be trusted, whatever feedback is coming to the child from an adult will not really be taken seriously. Depending on the age of the child, they may question themselves, am I contributing to this kind of behavior I'm seeing with these adults who are not being consistent in meeting their promises? So, having painted the picture of the things that we as parents could do to kill the confidence of our children, not all is lost. There are things that we can do that can promote confidence. And I've mentioned some as I was talking about those activities. Now, feeding them and encouraging them to engage in physical exercise. I think I had Douglas give some statistics on how much time kids are spending on online. Now, they are netizens. We expect that they will interact with the internet on an increasing basis. Our role as parents is to guide that process so that it doesn't become excessive, because internet also has an addictive part. So you want to structure their day in such a way that we give them the right nourishment so that they have energy and they're full of wellness. They can do things, and then encourage them to go out and play, whatever that play is. Of course, observing COVID protocols as best you can, but you really need to have that as part of your structure in supporting these kids, so that when they are strong and they're energetic, from nourishment, from fitness, then engaging in other activities becomes an easier process. We want to support them to incorporate relaxation in their day. And relaxation is not using the phone, using the tablet, sitting to watch TV. No. Relaxation is other things, So you want to support them It's even just sitting and telling stories. I don't know about you guys, but in my time growing up, children were not supposed to just sit. If you just sat, you were lazy. And I think for that reason, and our parents also had that thing. So you find when they take leave, the way Wazungus come here and they go to the parks, they're walking and looking at the animals, they go to the coast and they're just lounging at the beach. Yeah? Sisi, tukichukua leave, you're busier than when you're in the office. Ndio unafanya biashara ingine, ndio unaenda, and therefore we also don't expect our children to be sitting and just chatting. In our time, you sat, you were chatting, you were given work to do. So relaxation, hiyo ni yako, not in this house. Now, some of us are still carrying, those baggages of relaxation is laziness. No, relaxation is necessary for so many things. Rejuvenation, it helps, it gives an opportunity for reflection. If I'm doing it in the presence of others, it helps me to build my social skills, interpersonal relationships. So we want to encourage those. You want to help your child to engage in the habit of goal setting and tracking their goals. And it doesn't have to be anything complicated, whatever it is that they want to achieve. Because it is said that which is not tracked doesn't grow. If you're not measuring it, it doesn't grow. So you need to measure. Sit with them, help them. And it could be something as simple as, it could be academic, it could be related to their extracurricular thing, it could be related to a project that they're doing, like these young ones are with Mwanga, they're doing stuff there as groups. So you want to help them with that goal setting process and reflecting at the end of the day, maybe during the relaxation time. So what did you plan for the day? How much of it have you achieved? That which you didn't achieve, why? How do you course correct for tomorrow? Then you find they're able to do more. They are able to grow. As they are growing, they feel more confident in their abilities. We want to be good role models. And this one is not just about building confidence, but it's also about shaping their character and their personality and giving them, like a good direction into their future. So you want to model what confidence looks like. You want to be someone who plans yourself. You want to be someone who tracks the progress, who reports to them as is appropriate, so that they're able to see, hey, mami alisema atafanya hii, and she's been working at it 3 months. She's now done it, done, dusted. We are celebrating that. It's a good thing. You want to know what your kids' strengths are, and you want to play on those strengths. There's nothing as good as being asked to do something that you feel you're able to do and you love to do. One of these young fellows talked about self-awareness. Kasema ni kujua, part of what he said was it's knowing about your strengths. Now, once we know their strengths as the parents and caregivers, we want to give them opportunities to play to their strengths. If your child is a good mobilizer, give them that opportunity to mobilize. If your child is someone who can run errands, give them that opportunity to run errands. If they're good with numbers, give them opportunity to run your numbers for you. So that they feel that what they're good at is noticed, it's appreciated, and it's being given an opportunity to grow. Give them opportunities to help others with that which they feel happy to help others with. Sometimes we try to prescribe for them what they should do, depending on the ages, maybe. But as they get into teenage, you really want to be like consulting with these fellows. I was having this thought. What do you think? I was thinking we could maybe go out and help so-and-so with this and that. What do you think? And I think that because you're very good at this, making these things, you can come in handy. Give them opportunities to help others. You can suggest to them, you can allow them to suggest. expose them to new experiences. Part of growing one's confidence is going into the unknown and mastering it progressively. Remember those characteristics we said at the beginning. You are patient, you love yourself, you're comfortable with not succeeding, and you give yourself time to learn. So give them new experiences that help them to see how people grow, experience frustration, and do it in spite of the frustration. Now, when I'm able to do something, even though I'm frustrated, and then subsequently I am successful, it is such a joy. Then you want to celebrate progress and success. Let's not be those people who are like, tuta celebrate ukishafanya class 8 ukapata 400 and above. Tutasherekea ukishafanya form 4 ukapata A. So meanwhile, as this boy or girl is really working at their thing and is moving their grade from B to B plus, to A minus, or maintaining the grades and keeping them from going down. You're not even calling it out. You're just looking for, why is this one not the grade that we had discussed? Naona you're not serious. Kuna mchezo mingi sana. No, you want to celebrate progress and success. So remember, you are doing goal setting and you're tracking, helping them to do that. As they are tracking and you're seeing they're at least moving forward. The idea is that they're moving forward towards a known end. Celebrate that movement. When they get to the end, celebrate as well. And it doesn't have to be something elaborate. It doesn't have to be something elaborate. In fact, if you ask them, chances are they'll give you a range of options. So kulingana na mfuko yako, ile budget uko nayo, they'll tell you, okay, so yeah, I mean, I could invite 5 of my friends, and then can you afford it? Maybe not. Maybe you can invite one of your friends, and then we'll buy a small cake and we'll eat, and something. So that's it from me. I think my final word is there's this thinking that if my child is not doing as I would want them to do, then it is my business to make them change. They should change. They should respect me, talk to me respectfully, clean their room, organize, keep their room neat, observe the timetable that we have need. Well, it's good that you have a plan, but it's also very important to appreciate that we cannot change the behaviors of others. We can change ourselves. Now, we can change others by changing ourselves. So if there are certain things that we want our children to do differently, we need to look at ourselves. What am I doing? What am I doing? Am I doing the things that are helping this child to achieve the goal that I want for them? Am I affirming them? Am I showing interest in the things that they're interested in? Am I giving them feedback? Am I role modeling properly? Are my expectations realistic? So as I change myself, chances are I will see change in the other as they respond to the changes in me. I am done.
Wow, that was a very powerful presentation. I think we were expecting you go until 9 because